shot in our semifinal match. This is a good look at David Howlett from Louisville, Kentucky. Mark, the only lefty in the finals. And he opens up with a beautiful shot.
Denny, in his final match to get to the top 4, he had a strike on a lane he did not strike on. Left the 5-7-10 on, and he threw the ball just like that.
Former Collegiate Player of the Year, Chris Viale. I know you're very familiar with his game. He's from the East Coast.
Very accurate, and he wants to keep it on line with a lot of loft.
Up and at him a little bit. Ball hangs just a touch on lane 60, and you would perhaps know that more than anybody else in this bowling center.
On the last match I bowled on this pair, I did lose to Little Moncelli. I had a lot of problems with lane 60. It does hang a little bit.
Chris Viale has one more year of collegiate bowling, and then who knows from there. Really an outstanding player. Finds himself in a pressure-packed situation here, though. $25,000 to whoever finishes 4th today, $50,000 for 3rd, $100,000 for the runner-up, and the big $200,000 payday for the winner. And you've got a smile on your face.
Oh, I'd like to have a shot at that. I think, you know, bowling all the money that I've won and all the titles, I'd like to have a shot for that one time.
That would be a thrill. A little extra time right now for Chris Viale. Of course, you don't want to make any mistakes at this point.
You don't want to get up there and rush and give your opponent a chance to jump on you.
Oh, you grimaced when that one left his hand, and obviously he wasn't direct enough as he throws it in the channel.
Well, he wanted you know, lane 59 hooks a little bit more. I guess he wanted to give it a little more room, and he got the ball out a little too soon and dropped off the edge.
All right, what goes through your mind now when you've thrown a gutter ball? What do you do?
Well, you try and come back and say to yourself, just stroke through it. But the tendency is to pull it a little bit, so you might want to move in a little bit.
And he does exactly what Mark suggested, pulls it through the nose, so an open frame for Viale in the 2nd, and that gives Howlett a 21-pin lead. He's working on a strike. A double here puts him up by 31, and he would jump out to a very big lead early on.
This is what you don't want to give your opponent a chance to double in the first 2 frames.
Excellent shot. Has a very simple, fundamental game.
Yes, he's very basic, very loose swing and down and in, and good speed, so he doesn't get into trouble.
So Howlett opens with a double. One more, and he leads by 41.
That's what you want to do, is jump in on your opponent and put the pressure on him.
Told me he was fortunate all week long to throw some key shots late in matches to win. But, boy, in a format like this, when it's single elimination, that's what you have to do.
I pulled out just a little bit.
Yeah, just a hair.
But he got away with it. You know, I only left the 8th pin, so it should be an easy spare. But during the week, I've seen some unbelievable things happen with spare shooting.
I know you mentioned that, and I'll tell you, it's got to be a tough week mentally for these players because there's so many ups and so many downs. And no problem with the 1-pin conversion. And so it's a 30-pin advantage right now for Howlett, so Viale has to really get things started quickly.
He's got to make another good shot on lane 60. He was a little late, and he's got to get loose real quick.
Very intense player on lane 60, trying to get something started. Beautiful shot, rips out the 5-pin, so that's the first part of the puzzle.
Yes, it is, and they did it on the tough lane. Lane 60, the ball hung the first frame, and he made this adjustment and struck, and now he's just got to get up and do it again.
He strikes here, he cuts the lead to 20, and he's right back in the game. Boy, I saw some unbelievable matches in the round of 16 and the round of 8. Players that really came through in the clutch in the 9th and the 10th frames.
And then 4 of those bowlers are bowling tonight.
Mm-hmm. Interesting format. 1,316 players started. We're down to just the final 4. Flirted with the channel. That one right through the nose, and it's almost a carbon copy shot as he leaves the baby split.
Lane 59 hooks about 2 to 3 boards more, and he got that ball out a little too soon to the heads, and it hooked early and went through the beak.
Easiest way to make the baby split?
Well, I just throw straight and hard and hope that the ball backs up, takes the 3 and the 10.
To the right of the 3, and he goes to the left of the 3 and gets a big-time break. So, Viale trails here in match number 1 at the High Roller in Las Vegas. Vegas, Nevada, home of the PBA Tour since 1962. What a wonderful bowling facility, the largest in the country with 106 lanes as David Howlett stands up with a 30-pin lead, and we're now in the 4th frame. And the lefty from Louisville throws a pretty good shot, leaves the soft 7.
He threw it good. He kept it in the pocket. And it's, you know, when you get ahead by 30 pins, you want to keep the ball in play and not give your opponent a chance to take advantage of one of your mistakes.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things that David talked about, too, he said he's tried to stay in every match, had only, I believe, 2 opens in 8 games. So he did exactly what you said at the top of the show. He stayed out of trouble, and he made his point.
That's what he's doing right now. A double, 9 spare, 9 spare, and that's all he has to do is keep the ball in the pocket.
Part of the crowd on hand here at the Showboat today. They have turned out in full force all week long, and they're pumped up to watch somebody win $200,000 today.
Oh, they have a lot of friends and family, and they really get into it.
Yeah, it's fun. Everybody has their own individual cheering section. Left-hand lane, a little high through the nose, and he leaves just the 6.
He's staying out of trouble. He made an adjustment on 59. He went Brooklyn his last shot, got closer to the pocket, but he's still getting good count and easy spares to pick up.
Just 1 double thus far in the match. Howlett in the 1st and the 2nd. Struck a lot in practice, but one would suspect when the lights went on, Mark, the arm swings would tighten up a little bit.
Oh, everybody strikes in practice, and then the pressure and the lights and everybody watching, you want to, your swing does tighten up a little bit.
Do you remember your feelings, your impressions the first time you were bowled on national television?
Yeah, I made a mistake. I wore a long-sleeve shirt.
Did you really?
And I was scared.
Where was it?
Brunswick World Open.
Wow. That had to be back in the 70s, right?
Yeah, it was 1970.